Hi, it's Larry here, Xbox Live's Major Analyst. I'm up here at the Coalition in Vancouver, British Columbia with Rod Fergusson and Monique Chatterjee. Monique, you work on the Xbox design team, right?
Yep.
And you and Rod are here to show off one of your latest projects. Rod, tell us what we're looking at.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, first of all, it's an Xbox One S. So that means beyond, everything else is a 2 terabyte drive. You've got the IR blaster, you got the 4K streaming video, but
The internal power supply.
But one of the great things I'm really excited about is the HDR support. So, Gears of War 4 is going to support HDR. So if you have an HDR capable television, you'll be able to get the really rich, vibrant colors. But as part of a bundle, it means you get the controller with it, but you also get a bunch of digital content as well. So, and what's kind of cool is that all that stuff stacks. So we have digital content available when you pre-order. You get digital content when you get the season's pass. You get digital content when you get the console. So when you pre-order the console, you'll get all that. You get vintage Dell because you pre-ordered. You get vintage Oscar because it's the console. You'll get vintage JD because you get the season pass as part of the Ultimate Edition that comes with the console. So all these digital offerings kind of stack on top of each other. So if you pre-order the console, you kind of get almost all of it.
Now, a lot of folks have been asking, since we announced the Xbox One S at E3, when can I get a custom console? Here it is.
It is, yeah, exactly.
And Monique, I want to talk to you about, because your team designed this. Tell us about some of the design cues and how you worked with Rod and the team here to really create and encapsulize the world that is Gears of War in a console.
Well, we worked really tightly with the team at the Coalition, and we were super honored to work directly with Rod. We had a huge design kickoff, and we talked about the game, the characters, the emotion, and we really captured the story that we heard into the bundle. And so you're seeing all these themes come through, like the swarm. You can see here that it's as if this bundle was in a confrontation with the swarm. We have the scratch marks, the claw marks going up the front.
I want to talk about this because that's not a decal. This is really, Rod, the team really dug it in here, right?
Yeah, that was one of the nice things about the technology's changed so much, in terms of what you can do. We did a custom console back for Gears 3 on the 360. And basically, it's a series of pad prints and those sorts of things. And this, you're actually able to laser etch in, and this is like some of the deepest laser etching they've ever done on a console, correct?
Yeah, we've worked with laser etching before, but for this, it was super important to just turn it up to 11.
Turn the laser up to 11 and it starts doing that.
Blow it out, yeah. And typically lasers are used to make very precise, detailed markings, but we really wanted to capture the nature of the swarm, just this sort of raw violent scratch marks. So
yeah, they sent an amazing video of that as it's being etched. Actually, the console lights on fire, like the case lights on fire while it's being.
So a laser beam's actually cutting that. Now, Monique, you play Gears of War, right?
Yep.
So you must have been really excited to be able to work on a project that with a game that you know. So when you had a blank piece of paper, or in this case, essentially a white console, you could do anything you want with it. So where did you start?
Well, we started with the story, really. So it's like the franchise, the fans, the story. So we've captured the Gears Red, the Crimson Omen. We have the confrontation with the Swarm. And then on the bottom, we used this nice clean canvas that you get to see when you have your console vertical. We've captured the spirit of the Phoenix Omen. So we wanted to have this contrast between sort of the battle with the Swarm, and the super precise, kind of very clean cog aesthetic.
This, of course, is a beautiful console, but in order to have the console, you need to have a controller. Now, you've got a controller that's included in the console here. Tell us about this controller.
Well, the controller is much like the other Xbox One S controllers with the new Bluetooth and the textures and everything, but really able to bring the sort of elements from the console to it. And so again, it's a very swarm-based theme around it, although we're calling it the Crimson Omen limited edition controller. And the same thing, as you can see, it's like laser etching. The ABX wire actually scratched into the button, so you get that really cool feel. You have the very bright red D-pad with the fingerprint on it, the thumbprints on it. So there's a lot of really cool aspects to this that makes it really feel really unique and pairs really well. And you can actually get that separately too. If you don't have the custom console, or you want a second one, you can actually get that separate.
In addition to the bundle, Rod and Monique, we also have some other stuff here. Your team's been very, very busy, haven't they?
Yeah.
So Rod, why don't you walk us through what we see in front of us?
Well, the first, obviously, is the custom Elite controller we announced at E3, which is an amazing piece of hardware that we talked a lot about already. But if you look across the table, it continues to, we have the separate controller that works with it, obviously, as the JD Phoenix custom limited controller. And so it's very much themed like the COG armor. That was the big sort of motivation behind it, with having the omen in the center and having the blue paint and everything else. So it has this cool gunmetal gray, and even the little rivets that are sort of laser etched into it.
Yeah, so we put the lasers to work again, and we wanted to make sure that the details were authentic. We were really capturing the spirit of the armor, so that's why the little the bolts are actually lasered in. We've worked really hard to get this very sandblasted feel to the metallic quality. Really feels like a heavy piece of armor.
Yeah, and what's interesting is we actually took with the coating is to make it feel like metal. So even though it's plastic, if it actually kind of feels like you're holding a metal
absolutely
controller.
does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so this one of those things that we were really going after is all these little touches. That, because one of the things about Gears is it's a co-op game, and so we were going like it's a 2-player co-op for Gears 4, so we need 2 custom controllers, and so that's why you get with the Crimson Omen, which is more swarm themed.
And this, to be clear, this is the exact same controller you get with the bundle.
Yeah, correct. And so you can get it independently if you want, but this is sort of the more swarmed themed, and then this is the more Coalition or COG themed, and so you're able to do that, so you're going to have a sort of 2-player co-op experience with your custom controllers.
We felt really connected to the game story, really connected to the pieces, and it was just like these great expressions coming from the team.
And they kept pushing, which is what I liked. It's like normally you work in a collaboration, it's just sort of like, how do we get it done? Or here's my task, how do I get it done? And it was really like, this is the first custom Elite. That's the first 1S, and then it was like, what are the firsts? Like, okay, let's be the first to do this type of laser etching.
Like this right here.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so everywhere we were going, they were pushing like, hey, we haven't tried this before, let's try this. And hey, we haven't tried this before, let's try this. And so they just kept pushing and pushing to try new things that haven't been done before, and you can see it in front of you.
Yeah, one of my favorite visits up here was, so we were up here like every week, every other week. One of my favorite visits were we were reviewing this product, and we were saying like, oh, we have to put the bloody fingerprints on the backside, and so we just decided on the fly, like, Rod, we're taking your prints, and so we were coloring his fingers with the dry erase markers and
Scotch tape.
Real
scotch
high
taping.
tech.
Yeah, scotch taping and lifting the fingerprints and drive back through the border.
With fingerprints, no red flags there.
Yeah.
No, so if you want to open my phone, if ever you want to get access to my phone, you just take your fingerprints off here and you can get into my phone.
Now, in addition to the console looking great, Rod, you've also got some sounds in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it goes beyond just what it looks like. One of the things that was really cool about the 360 console was that it actually had custom sounds based on the power button or ejecting the disc, and the same is true for the Xbox One S for our custom version. So when you power it on, you hear the theme or orchestral theme play. When you eject the disc, you hear the juvie cry, which kind of scares the crap out of you. And then when you power it off again, it plays into part of our orchestral score. So it really feels like it grounds it in the game. So as you're hearing these sounds, it actually kind of immerses you into the world as you get ready to play.
It's a great collection of hardware here, in addition to the great game that's coming out. So Rod, I'll let you kind of wrap it all up and let us know when the game's available and when all the hardware is available.
Oh, yeah. Well, the game, again, early access is October 7th. You get the Ultimate Edition, which comes with the console. So if you want early access, get the console. And so everything else is available at that time, too. So it's going to be $449, and it's $199 for the Elite. These are US prices. But it's available where Xbox hardware is available. But again, super limited. Like, these ones will be a little bit more generally available, but the console and the Elite controller are going to be, if you're interested at all, please pre-order.
Thank you very much. Rod, Monique, thanks for your time.
Thank you.